One night, unable to bear it any longer, Ije sought help from the village priestess, Mama Olamma. The old woman studied Ije carefully before speaking. "You carry a burden not yours to bear." Ije swallowed hard. "How do I get rid of it?" Mama Olamma shook her head. "What was stolen must be returned. The spirits do not forget." Ije's stomach twisted. She couldn't return what she had taken. She didn't know how. That night, the whispers turned into voices, loud, mocking. As Ije walked through the village square, the shadow stretched across the ground, longer than it should have been. Then, in front of everyone, it spoke. "Thief!" Ije froze. People turned, eyes widening. "Who said that?" Someone whispered. Ije ran before they could figure it out. Amara watched her sister carefully. Ije's beauty was undeniable, but her peace was gone. And then something happened. One afternoon, as Amara stood by the river, she caught her reflection in the water. For a brief second, she saw it, her real face, the glow, the beauty, the radiance. It was still hers. And then, in a blink, it was gone. Her heart pounded. Something had been taken from her, but not forever. Ije knew she was running out of time. The shadow was getting bolder. It spoke when others were near. It moved even when she did not. She barely slept, barely ate. She had gotten what she wanted: beauty, admiration, love. But what was the point if she was too afraid to enjoy it? One evening, she grabbed Amara's hand. "Tell me," she begged, "if you had something taken from you, would you want it back?" Amara frowned. "What do you mean?" "Nothing," Ije said, shaking her head. She couldn't confess. Not yet. That night, the shadow finally stepped forward. Not just a whisper, not just a presence, but a figure. It rose from the ground, dark and shifting, its form twisted and unnatural. "It is time, Ije." "No," Ije said, backing away. The shadow only smiled, and then, before her eyes, it began to change. It took her shape, and then it spoke in her own voice. "If you will not confess, I will." Ije trembled as she watched the shadow take her form. It was her. Same face, same body, same voice. But the eyes were hollow, filled with something dark and ancient. "You cannot run from me," it said, stepping closer. Ije backed away. "What do you want?" The shadow smiled. "You already know." It pointed towards the village. "They will know the truth, unless what?" Ije clenched her fists. The shadow only smiled. It would not give her an easy way out. Ije was trapped. She could let the shadow reveal the truth, or she could find another way to silence it. she thought of the priestess's words. What was stolen must be returned. Could she undo what she had done? But how? She had stolen beauty, but it wasn't something she could simply hand back. Unless a wicked thought crossed her mind. If Amara was gone, the balance would never be restored, and Ije would be free. Amara could no longer ignore it anymore. Something was wrong with Ije. She saw it in her eyes, the desperation, the fear. One evening, she sat beside her. Ije, what is happening? Ije forced a smile. Nothing. I'm just tired. Amara frowned. Tired of what? Ije hesitated, then shook her head. Forget it. But Amara wouldn't. She needed to find out the truth. And soon. Ije couldn't sleep. The shadow watched her from the corner of her heart, smiling. You know what you must do. Ije squeezed her eyes shut. No. But the shadow's whispers didn't stop. If you want to be free, there is only one way. And so, that night, she made her choice. By morning, Amara would not see another sunrise. Meanwhile, Mama Eke had a dream. A dark figure stood over Amara, whispering something she could not hear. And then, suddenly, blood. She woke up with a gasp. Something terrible was coming. She hurried to Amara's hut. You must be careful, my child, she said. Do not trust blindly. Amara looked confused. Mama, what are you talking about? Mama Eke sighed. I do not know yet, but I feel it. The next day, Ije prepared everything carefully. A meeting by the river, just the two of them. One push, that is all it would take. Then the balance would never be restored. She sent words to Amara. Meet me by the river at sunset. I need to talk. Amara agreed, unaware of what awaited her. As the sun set, Amara walked to the river, humming softly. Ije stood by the water, heart pounding. This was it. But just as she was about to speak, the wind howled. The shadow emerged behind her, its grin wider than ever. Too late, it whispered. Amara's eyes widened with shock. What was that? Ije turned, but the shadow was gone. I don't know, Ije stammered, but Amara was watching her closely now. That night, the shadow did not whisper. It roared. Darkness filled Ije's heart, swallowing the light. The walls trembled, the ground shook. And then, in a voice that shook her very soul, the shadow spoke. You were given a choice. You chose wrong. Ije screamed, but no one heard her. The next morning, Ije stumbled into the village square. Her beauty was gone. Her face was hollow, sunken, as if drained of life. The villagers gasped. Ije, what happened to you? She fell to her knees, shaking, and then the shadow appeared in front of everyone. It pointed at her. "Tell them what you did." Amara stepped forward, eyes wide with realization. "Ije, what did you do?" And at last, with no escape, Ije confessed. The village fell silent. Mama Olamma stepped forward. "The spirits do not take kindly to thefts." Ije sobbed. "Please, I didn't mean to." But it was too late. The ground beneath her feet cracked open. Darkness pulled at her, wrapping around her limbs. The last thing she saw was Amara's tear-filled eyes. Then, with one final scream, Ije was gone. The shadow vanished with her. The balance was restored. Amara regained her beauty. Amara, shaking but alive, whispered, "I forgive you." But the lesson was clear. Envy destroys, and those who take what is not theirs will always pay the price. Hello, my lovely viewers. Hope you enjoyed the story, and hope you also learned a lesson or two from this story. If you did, kindly share your thoughts with me in the comment section. And also, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories. Bye!